welcome back. So I've decided that for this week's video, I am going to explore all the most unique cafes in the Hongdae area because I was looking online for cute cafes and it turns out a lot of them are in this area, which is perfect for me. Today's cafe is going to be Thanks Nature Cafe, and I'm just going to grab my Chinese study material and I'm gonna go there, study for a bit, try something new, and let you guys know how I like it. Not sure why, but I actually had a bit of trouble finding this cafe. I walked around the block and through this kind of shopping center before I finally found the sign pointing to the cafe. Turns out there was an easier way to get there, which I'll show you guys on my way out. First thing you see when you arrive at this cafe is a little outdoor space for two sheep, which from what I could tell were called Pfizer and Moderna. Very fitting for these times. I ended up going with the fanciest looking option on the menu, which was the waffle with 4 different fruit. Plus, I got one of their beautiful drinks, this milk tea with a sheep design. Oh, and the owner of this place saw me taking so many photos and videos that he gave me this little sheep to include in my shots. Both the tea and the waffle were delicious. Of course, they had a lot of sugar, but they were still delicious. And so I definitely recommend going here, not just for the sheep, but also for the food. After eating, I spent some time reading my Chinese graded book, and then after a while, I went outside to play with the sheep because obviously that is a big reason I came. I actually can't remember if I've ever touched sheep before. I probably have as a child, but this is my most recent memory, and I have to say these are the softest animals ever. And they were both so busy having a meal that I was able to easily spend time petting them, taking photos and videos. It was a really fun experience. Oh, and this is the easier and probably correct way to get to the cafe. I didn't realize that if I had just kept walking up the street, I would have found these stairs. Today is day 2 of cafe hopping, and I'm so excited about this cafe because it is themed after the Harry Potter movies. So for that reason, yesterday and today I watched Harry Potter movies. I was that excited. I cannot believe how close it is to where I live. I feel so lucky. Anyway, I'm predicting that this one's going to be really cool. For this cafe, I honestly cannot understand how I hadn't noticed it before. I had walked by it just a few days before to go to another store and didn't even notice the brooms on the wall or the Harry Potter music. Anyways, in order to enter this cafe, you must order a drink. I asked if I could order food instead and they said no. So I got a fudge dessert and a chocolate milkshake. It was actually way too much chocolate. And I really wanted to try the Harry Potter happy birthday cake, but it was way too expensive and definitely way too big for one person. The cafe consists of 5 floors. You enter and order on the ground floor, which is decorated like a wand shop. The top 3 floors are part of the cafe and each have their own theme. And then the basement is a Harry Potter themed bar. This here is the first floor and it was titled the Wizard Cafe. It was the floor with the most generic theme, I feel, and this is where I sat and ate what I ordered, which was once again super delicious, but I, like I said, overestimated how much chocolate I could eat, and I ended up having to take half of the fudge cake home. So here is the second floor of the cafe, which was titled the Banquet Hall, and it clearly is themed after the banquet hall in Hogwarts. Finally, we reached the top floor, which was my favorite of them all. It was called the Wizard Dormitory, which obviously is themed after the dormitories at Hogwarts. And then my favorite thing was that they provided Hogwarts uniforms for you to try and take photos with. Lastly, as I mentioned, there was a bar in the basement. It was pretty creepy, especially since I was the only one down there with that realistic pumpkin head robot. For my next cafe, I decided to meet up with a friend that I've made here in Seoul, and we decided to go to Stylenanda Pink Pool Cafe. Stylenanda is actually a clothing store, so this cafe is situated at the top of this clothing store's building. This place was as adorable as I had expected, both the pink area and the pool area. Not only was it cute, but it also had a nice selection of beautifully decorated desserts, and so we each ordered one and spent the rest of the time catching up. Good morning. So I just had lunch and I'm all ready to head out to my fourth cafe. And today's cafe has a really interesting theme. It's kind of like a rooftop theme where they built a rooftop indoors inside of the cafe. And so you're gonna feel like you're on the roof, but in reality you are indoors. If that makes any sense, it's really hard to grasp the actual concept of this place. But I did want to mention that the one negative side of this place is that I'm not someone who really likes coffee, and looking at the pictures of this place online, I think that they don't really have anything to eat. But yeah, I'm gonna order coffee. Let's see how it goes. And then I think later I'm gonna stop by another cafe, which is not on my list of what I'm gonna show you guys, but I think I'll still leave it in to buy something yummy and eat that. This fourth cafe was a little bit farther from the Hongdae main street, but it was still totally worth it. This cafe was one of my top 2 favorites in terms of design, with number 5 actually being my other favorite. The only downside was that because I didn't have the Korean COVID QR code, they didn't let me stay. Everywhere else I've been able to fill out a paper with my phone number and address, but this place for some reason wanted the QR code. Even though they didn't let me sit inside, fortunately I got some milk tea, which I like, and it's also cold, which is going to keep me cool on my way to the next place, which hopefully will let me sit inside. Anyway, let's keep going. Lucky for me, it was already part of the plan for me to go somewhere else and find something to eat. So that's too bad. Looks like they're closed. Man, I'm having a lot of bad luck today. But yeah, I'm just gonna walk around and find somewhere else. I ended up going to one of my favorite study cafes in the area just because it's so close to where I live, and it has a huge selection of food, both savory and sweet. today I'm going to my last cafe, and I think that this one is going to be the best one of them all, just in terms of effort that they've put into making this place really feel like a completely different world. I don't know, from the photos it looks like this place is going to be super cool. So yeah, let's see if it lives up to my expectations. This cafe was actually super close to number 4, and the only reason why I didn't go to them both on the same day was because it turns out this one doesn't open on Mondays and Tuesdays. But yeah, if you plan to go to one, I definitely recommend to go to the other. This place was not only amazingly well designed, but it also had a great selection of food and drinks. I got a cookies and cream dacquoise, I think it's pronounced, and a red bean drink. I love red bean anything, but it was the first time trying a red bean drink. The decoration of this place was 10 out of 10. They really took the assignment seriously. The only thing that I feel that they don't have going for them is their location, since you have to walk a bit from Hongdae Street in order to get there, making it obviously harder to discover. Anyways, that is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I know that I had a lot of fun filming this, especially trying the food. So yeah, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And if you liked it even more, you can subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.